Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Ray and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real. Reminiscing the attitude era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? That's messed up, right? Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much, man. Not much. It's kind of a shitty day out, so I haven't even gotten out of the bathrobe yet.
Nope,
It's definitely a day to lay down and chill and watch a movie or something.
it is. We are less than a week away from Christmas, so there's a lot of holiday cheer in the air, as you can tell.
Yeah. Lots of cheer.
So let's start the show off with a recap of what we watched this week. Starting off with the farewell of Juan Cena,
R.I.P.
as
John.
he's called down south of the border.
Yes.
Saturday night's main event last Saturday. John Cena ended the show with his final match against Gunther. And the internet went crazy and booed the hell out of Triple H because of the finish, because
Yes,
John
they
Cena's
did.
never give up motto for the last 20 years pretty much went south, and he gave up by tapping out to Gunther.
It's funny that they blame Triple H, but I mean, it was 99%.
It's John Cena's idea.
Yeah, it was definitely his idea.
Yeah, from the get-go, that's exactly the storytelling he wanted to tell. I could tell the minute I saw it. I liked it.
Yeah. I thought it was fine.
Overall, his run this year has been very much panned.
Mixed.
I've watched very mixed. I've watched almost every match he's had.
Same.
And I think it was a great way of telling a story for somebody who is, let's be honest, up until this year, he's part-time. He's been part-time since 2017, when he actually went into acting full-time.
Yeah,
maybe
pretty much.
maybe not more
than
20 matches here
he
and
might
there.
have came
throughout
back.
the
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
I know one year he had one match at WrestleMania, and that was it. So he's been, Peacemaker, of course, we know that in the movie.
Did he ever do the thing where he just did house shows for a while? Because some wrestlers would do that just to get. Okay, I couldn't remember if he did or not.
This run, he mentioned in one of the interviews, I don't remember where it was, but there are no more house shows like they were back in the day.
Right.
Where that's what he wanted to do during this run. He wanted to have 100 and something days, to just perform and tour himself around. But they're just, the house shows what we remember back in the day are just not like they were back then.
Right.
So they gave him the television offer, and then that's what he did. Never been done for any other superstar in the past.
Nope.
Very, very. Usually when somebody retires, it's either a retirement match that sets up if the loser loses, they're going to retire, which happens all the time. Or they just retire without a whimper. Right, or retire without a whimper, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Nobody knew that was his actual retirement match until 5 years after that. That was just a underground thing that Vince, Rock, and him knew, but Austin was done because he stayed on TV for another 2 or 3 years after that, to being the authority figure. But This is the first time somebody of his caliber actually had an entire year planned out to a pinpoint of exactly when his last match is going to be. Never had been done before. Actually, I think it worked. And in all this time, this year, you had different versions of this character that he's created, which is basically himself amped up to 11. From the heel turn in the beginning, which has been panned from the beginning. I loved it. I wanted to see it. A lot of people wanted to see it from the last 20 years of watching him. Just seeing that dynamic again, because when he came in, he was a heel. Just to see him in that atmosphere now, with the wrestlers that are currently on the roster, it was great. The very end of the match, John Cena was ceremoniously given the world title and the WWE title by CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Of course, he did not want them. He almost handed them back to him. The one thing I forgot to put in the notes, but did you see the segment before this? Because the one wrestler that we wanted to fight John Cena during his
Joe
run,
Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Hendry.
Yep.
He comes out with, there was no announcement of him being there, but he fought The Miz.
I only saw it by accident because I skipped the Cena match, but I missed the intros, which obviously I wanted to see. So I went back, and then I went back too far, and I was like, oh, shit, Hendry. So I went all the way back to the beginning of that segment.
Yep. But everybody's been talking about John Cena and the influence that he's had on them. All the AEW guys are doing it too, MJF. Some of the other ones have been posting too, and giving their congratulations to a well done career. And he's not going anywhere. He's signed a 5-year Legends deal. He's going to be in the company for a little while, kind of an ambassador role, talking about the company being there. And he said he's never going to wear the jorts again. When you see him on WWE television, he's going to be wearing a tux for every foreseeable future appearance going forward. So be interesting to see that. Hall of Fame talk. Do we think he's going to be in next year's Hall of Fame in 2026 WrestleMania season? 4 months away.
I feel like they should wait a year. Give it.
Okay.
I think they should announce it a year in advance. Fuck it.
Yeah.
A year in advance. Announce it a year in advance. They should do that with the headliner. They should know the headliner for every year, like lined up a year in advance, I think. But that'd be cool.
The only one
a year.
Yeah.
Hype it up.
The only one announced so far is Stephanie McMahon. She was announced
27 or 26
for next year. Yeah, for 26.
Okay. Yeah, I think they should do it in 27.
Yeah, because you think about it, John Cena announced the Rock match a year before WrestleMania. He announced his tour a year and a half before his retirement. He announced that. So yeah, it would make perfect sense. You're right. Maybe announce it this WrestleMania or something, or after that. But yeah, John Cena's career is officially done. And we'll be seeing him somewhere in the DCU again, stuck on a planet. Who knows when? Hopefully sooner rather than later. But yeah, career well done from John Cena. Kind of the end of an era for us, because we were young when he debuted, right out of high school, right into college for you. And he's been around for 20 years of us growing up and becoming adults. So this is kind of the end of our childhood after we grew up, and seeing somebody our age, kind of close to our age, within 10 years or so. Was he 48? So yeah, within 6 years, coming into a retirement of epic proportions. You don't see somebody with his caliber,
correct,
lasting 20 years in wrestling. We talked about it off pod, I think. But Austin, what did he have a run for? 8 years in the main card as the big huge baby face. Hulk had a run in the WWF for 10 years, and then he jumped ship to WCW. Had a little bit of a run there before they went under, but John Cena's lasted through time 20 whole years straight forward in the same company.
Right.
There was no competition to move to, but you're definitely the company man through and through, with Vince and with the new TKO and everybody. So yeah, congratulations, John Cena. West Newbury's own, not too far away from us. Yeah, great career. And a finale, a great finale. And I told you off pod, I think I may have mentioned it on here. This show has the potential to being the best series ever.
Very good.
On HBO. We are 1 season out of 3, and by far this is my favorite season I've ever seen on HBO. And I love The Sopranos. I like Game of Thrones, kind of off by the last season like everybody else. I love House of Dragon. where it is right now in that series. The Last of Us first season's right up there too, but the emotional story that this series, Welcome to Derry, told from episode 1 to episode 8 was fantastic. It made the movies look smaller, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but Machete just came in with knives blazing, guns swinging. This was an amazing show. We didn't even get Pennywise until episode 6, but it didn't matter. It's just the story that this told and the overall horror arc of terrorizing these children in the town of Derry, Maine, was outstanding. This episode started off with Pennywise going into a high school and the principal coming out, and he's doing a ventriloquist act with the principal, putting his hand through his back into his head, making him talk to an audience full of children, who Pennywise goes forth and steals and makes them float in the air, following a caravan of the wagon, the Pennywise wagon, with him playing this tuba in the front seat. It was one of the best scenes I've ever seen on television. And the sound and the music that came out of it was astounding. Pennywise is terrorizing this group of kids, this losers. I always want to call them the Losers Club just because of the overall arcing movie and book of the past, but it's different. It's a different set of kids, but Pennywise is terrorizing them like he always does, terrorizing the children who are trying to go against him. And he goes up to this Margie, I don't know her name. But you find out that she is the mother of Richie Tozer from the original It Losers Club, who was played by Finn Wolfhard in the movie. And he actually whips out a poster showing him, because Pennywise, huge revelation, can warp time. What are your feelings about that? In other words, time is not linear to him. It almost, the way he made it sound like his birth was his death. When he died in 2017, that was his birth, and he's going back and past every 27 years instead of going forward, which makes sense why Machete's doing the show going back into the past, because Pennywise is taking revenge for the Losers Club, and that's why he singled out Marge here, showing her the poster of her potential son, who she's going to have 27 years later, who's going to end up killing Pennywise. And he's terrorizing her, and that's a big, huge revelation. What's your thought of the time travel, time fuckery that's added into this?
Genius.
Genius, yeah.
I was kind of wondering why they were going back. I thought it would be just to ease us back as we kept going back in time, because like going from 2017 or whatever to like 1908 or whatever the first season is going to be would be like, but like now we get to see the progression of the town back through time as opposed to building up. I just assumed that was the only reason for it, which I thought was a good reason. Because then you can just keep removing things from the town or whatever as you go back. It just seems like it'd be easier to do. And a very interesting way to tell the story. But yeah, that was crazy when he pulled out that poster.
And now, going in the past, there's a reason for him to go into the past. When he's in 1935 next season, he's going to be terrorizing either the people who are young or who are old in this season that we just watched when they were younger. He's going to hunt them down, terrorize them like a young Hanlon. Or Hanlon's not there. Who would be there? The Butcher, the Ingrid would be there. Some of the parents of the kids would be still living in Derry at the time. So maybe terrorizing them or stopping them from having children in the future that who would potentially destroy him later on, the way time fuckery works in this. But very original way of doing it. The other thing that happened in this episode, James Remire, the general, goes face to face with the frozen Pennywise, who has been frozen by Dick Halloran, who's amazing in this. The way he's set up in this last episode, he freezes Pennywise in the middle of the frozen river, and all of a sudden he loses the trance, and Pennywise comes to life right in front of the general and bites his face off. Incredible scene. And that leads up to the Losers Club trying to get this artifact, this pillar, into a point to make the gate back on Derry so he can't escape the city again, to escape the town. And Dick Halloran's trying his best to use his shine abilities. And he sees a ghost of the Indian lady. kind of as the 4 Losers Club members are trying to put this pillar in place. He sees the Indian Club lady, and behind her is a young Richie from the last episode who passed in the fire. He comes in, middle finger swinging to Pennywise as he's running by him, as you see in the middle picture on YouTube.
Yep.
And he jumps in with the Losers Club and jumps and helps them push this pillar into place to lock Pennywise into the city in the town of Derry, as Pennywise is behind them in a bird form that I know is in the books. They actually, I think it was it may have been the It series, the book itself, but they didn't put it in there. Machete put it in this instead. But he's terrorizing them, and at the end, with the help of the ghost of Richie, they confide him back into the town of Derry, and he goes into slumber for another 27 years to destroy him. This was an amazing scene, amazing storytelling. Having Richie show up, it was a gasp moment for a lot of people, including myself, when you saw him show up and Pennywise's eyes, like he actually saw the ghost of Richie staring at him as he's running by. Fucking incredible. Pennywise versus Dick Hallorann was one of my favorite parts of this whole entire, the mental block between the two of them. To the point in this episode where Dick goes inside of Pennywise's mind and brings him back into the carnival of 1908. And he thinks he's getting harassed by all the carnival workers for Bob Gray disappearing. But then he figures out it's Dick Hallorann. Dick Hallorann shows up to the funeral of Richie. And as you can see, Richie is consoling his friend and his parents in the funeral there. And also the airplane that he threw from the tower, Margie finds that in the tree. And it did make it to Derry like he had hoped it would. My favorite line in this, a lot of people's favorite line, Dick Hallorann's talking about a new job he's got at a hotel, and he's like, how much trouble can a hotel be? Yes. Well, if you know The Shining, that's where the trouble lies. So a lot of people are saying, was this a backdoor? Is this whole show a backdoor to a Shining reboot, a Shining sequel, a Shining prequel, with Dick Hallorann showing up to the hotel and all the ghostly, showing up to the hotel with all the ghostly stuff. This actor's amazing. I don't know his name off the top of my head. I hope we see him in more stuff. I would love to see him as Dick Hallorann in a Shining prequel with all the ghostly goings on of the Overlook Hotel. Would be amazing. We'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. But and the after credits epilogue of this episode, we see Ingrid, who was put in the trance by Pennywise in the episode prior, is in a mental institution. And it fast forward to, I believe, 1986. And you see Beverly from the Losers Club, and her mother's hanging, and she's crying, and she's trying to console her father, and her father pushes her away because, from the Losers Club, her father is a molester, asshole. And Ingrid's standing over her, telling her that nobody really dies in Derry, and has the evil clown smile as the season ends, and Derry and Beverly's looking on to her. Great fucking episode. Great fucking moment. The lady who plays Ingrid, Joan Gregson, actually died back in, I believe, June. This is her last role. She filmed it last year. And yeah, she was, of course, in the movie. One of the most memorable moments from the second It movie, where she's the old lady in the Marsh house, and she just goes crazy and starts doing the spider walk and goes naked in the kitchen and everything crazy. And she was 91 years old. So rest in peace to her. Final role, very impactful for the series. And the final card for the series, final card for the episode, the season was called Welcome to Derry Chapter 1. So confirmation, of course, that we're going to be, it's been, everybody's known, but we're going to be getting more chapters of this. So great, incredible. And there's been a lot of teases. Andy Machete's been talking a lot about how this is going forward, and he did confirm that 1935 is been known for a while. 27 years, of course, before season 1, and they're going to tackle the Bradley gang, which is in the book. Going to be taking place during the Depression, the Great Depression in Derry. You're going to see some new characters, some characters from the season as well, but younger versions of them. So yeah, can't wait for that. And the Neibolt house, which is where Pennywise hides in the movie. We're going to find out more about that. That came out, I think, in a podcast.
Yeah.
Andy Muschietti, I know I saw your Twitter feelings about this too. Also talked about
Oh
now
yeah,
that the popularity,
yeah.
now that the popularity of the show, he wants to go back to the It Chapter 2 and do a supercut, a 6 or 7 hour supercut of those two movies with some deleted scenes, some other stuff that he had to cut out of the original picture, and do a director's huge cut of that. A movie I don't want to see. However, if he turns it into a series, I would watch that. If he could somehow do it in an episodic way, I would definitely watch that. I know, didn't Tarantino do that with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on Netflix?
No.
I believe
It's
going to.
It's a movie. It's just a movie. Fincher directed it. With Brad Pitt.
No. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was re-released. The one with Brad Pitt and Leo. I believe it was released on Netflix in a similar way where they took the movie. Yeah, and he did a director's cut of it and made it longer into its episodic
I never heard
way.
of that.
Yeah,
I would have
because on Netflix.
That is my favorite Tarantino movie.
Yeah, mine too. One of mine. Yeah. But yeah, it's still a big dream of his to do that with It. So that'd be interesting. But yeah, it's a long fucking way of doing it. That would be the longest movie ever. Also, on pre-order, limited edition steelbook. So the HBO is releasing the series, coming out with the postcards of the really, really cool posters that came out before the series. Really cool looking box set for that. Overall, great series. My favorite HBO show so far. Could be my favorite series of all time. I think Sopranos overall may be my favorite series, but the season itself, by far is my favorite. The storytelling that it told was great. And I cannot wait for the second season and the third season to see how this concludes and the overall story arc of how maybe we'll find out where the alien came from and where that whole entity part of it from and how it works.
How's this for an idea? Do what you said, which is do the two movies combined as a TV show.
Yep.
Film extra stuff with it, bridge the gaps between the shows, and release that as season 4.
That'd be cool. That would be very cool.
But yeah, that just randomly came to my head when we were talking about that. But because they did talk about how Muschietti has like 3 seasons planned, but HBO's like there could be a 4th. And I'm like, I don't think Muschietti is planned for a 4th. But if they were to do a 4th, that'd be an interesting way to wrap everything together. But I don't know.
We'll talk about in news. We'll talk about how successful the show is for HBO, so I can see them wanting to milk it like Game of Thrones. I think it's number 3 behind Game of Thrones and The Last of Us. We'll talk about it in news, but Pluribus episode 8. We are on the penultimate episode today, but Kevin's caught up. Yeah. There's something that we need to talk about. So if you have not seen this show,
have you been holding on to the screenshot for 3 weeks?
I've been holding on for a few screenshots. Scroll about a minute. Give us time to talk about this. If you see a Pluribus, if you don't give a shit, listen because it's awesome. Second or third episode, the mayor shows up, and if you don't know the show of Pluribus, the world is taken over by a hive mind, and every single human on Earth, except for 11 people, are part of this hive mind of one working brain. And they are kind of slaves to all the people on Earth who have not turned. Who is including the main character, Carol, who's played by Ray Seahorn, who is in Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
One of the people that's in the town of Albuquerque is the mayor, the real mayor of Albuquerque now. And he plays himself, and he's doing work for Carol after she puts a bomb in the second episode when she bombs the house. I believe I have a picture of that here. That's him there. Vince Gilligan on why they cast John Cena in, I believe, the 4th episode. And this is the episode I was hinting to you about being awesome. John Cena shows up in Las Vegas on the television because all of the people in the hive mind have gone away from Carol because Carol tried to kill the one lady who's kind of been the ambassador to everybody else on Earth to her. Tried to kill her, trying to warp her brain. And all of the people in Albuquerque just left overnight one day, left her all alone, and she kind of became crazy because of it and lonely. Well, she went to Las Vegas to meet one of the other 11 people that are on this Earth that haven't been taken over, and he's taken over a whole entire hotel in Las Vegas, and she wants to talk to the hive mind. So they put somebody on television, ends up being John Cena, the actual John Cena. I think he introduces himself like, "Hi, I'm a TV celebrity John Cena," and he said, "I thought you'd like a familiar face to talk to or something to that effect. And he talks about how everybody is a cannibal in this world, eating leftovers from humans in milk jugs. And so it's weird story. But John Cena did show up on it, and that's the big thing I want to talk about. The other thing in the social media response to it, Carol Burnett from the Carol Burnett Show back in the day showed up in an ad on the Pluribus social media accounts as in, "Hi, Carol, join us, Carol, if you want." And I thought that was very, very funny. It came out around I think the same weekend the John Cena thing came out. But Pluribus has become the most watched series on Apple TV ever, surpassing Severance. It's a great show. They put a billboard on in LA. Everybody's watching Carol kind of to celebrate that fact. Yeah, very exciting show. One episode left. The finale is next week. We'll talk about it when we come back. We're off next week because of the holiday. But yeah, great show. This is on Apple TV. Everybody should watch it. A great sci-fi original series. Speaking of sci-fi, Fallout Season 2 came out. It's good. One episode. Last time they released the whole series at once. They're doing one episode a week. Final episode, I believe, comes out February 13th or somewhere around there. So every single week's going to be one episode. It's good so far. One episode didn't tell too much, but see the characters where they left off in the first season and what's going on. They're in New Vegas. I know that's a huge part of the games. I don't know much about the games, but and the Fallout TV show. Yeah, very good. Fallout TV show is going to have impact on Fallout 5 whenever that comes out. And it's going to be the existing world in the TV shows, and the stories and the events happening are going to be taking place. They're going to be taking that into account in the video game. So it's
nice.
Kind of weird, exciting.
I like that idea.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, great show. That's on Prime right now, currently for one episode, just debuted. So go ahead and watch that. I watched a movie on Netflix called Jay Kelly. This is the Noah Baumbach movie directed by him, starring George Clooney and Adam Sandler. Everybody's saying Adam Sandler is going to get some supporting acting noms for the Oscars. I think he will. Did you? I don't think you had a chance to probably watch this. I don't know if you did or not.
No.
No. It's a really good movie. All about Hollywood. All about an aging star. He plays kind of a person like himself. George Clooney's in the 60s now. Kind of plays an actor like him, and dealing with putting his whole life into acting, and kind of putting his family life and his regular everyday human life on the back burner to become the biggest actor in the world. And Adam Sandler is his manager who goes through life with him. Great story. The very last scene of this is spectacular. One of the greatest lines from this movie is, "All of my memories are movies." Kind of hit home to me because it's kind of like how my mind works too. I'm not an actor, but every movie memory that I have, I do have memories going back to that. I think, oh yeah, I was with that person. A lot of movies that you and I have seen in the past. Oh yeah, I went to the movies with Kevin and saw that. So, it kind of hit home to me. I love that line. But it's on Netflix. You want to watch it for free if you have Netflix. It's on there. It's very good. It's called Jay Kelly. Running Man. Do you have a chance to watch the new Running Man?
No, I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
Okay, not much to talk about. It is a totally different story from what we saw with the Arnold one. But the citizens of the world are more like the bounty hunters in this. I will say that. I think we talked about it on the podcast, so I'll say it now. Derry does play a part in this. The town of Derry from the Stephen King. This is written by Stephen King. Michael Cera, great in this movie. And that's all I'm going to say. 4 out of 5 for me. And when you watch it, maybe we'll talk about it some more if you want to. But yeah, very, very good. Coleman Domingo, great in it. Lee Pace, great in it. Josh Brolin, great in it too. And Chad Powers himself, Glenn Powell, great as well. So yeah, this just came out on the streaming if anybody wants to watch it. So yeah. And finally, Avatar, Fire and Ash. In other words, a repackaged version of Captain Planet. This is the third movie of what's supposed to be 5. First one was all about the earth and connecting to the earth. Second one's all about the way of water. And the third one's all about fire and ash, the ash people from the volcanoes. Overall, fast pace, considering these movies are known to be slow. It was over 3 hours. But it's James Cameron. It reminds you, James Cameron has wasted 20 years of his creating life working on this one franchise when he could be back to Terminator or Alien or anything,
or creating something new.
In,
which
or
I mean,
something brand new. Yeah,
but I mean, technically, he did create this, so I understand why he spent. I mean, he spent.
Yeah. This is
he's been working on
definitely a
this
passion.
since Titanic. Like this has been his project since Titanic.
Definitely a passion for him. You can tell for every screen of this. You can.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is done with this series, even though they did just announce the release date for the 5th one.
Yeah.
If he gets somebody else to direct or maybe move forward, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's good.
I like them more than
what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, me too. I was gonna say that.
I'll never see it again.
You're pretty much dead on with that. That's
once.
how I feel. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'll probably get the 4Ks when they release as a complete set in like 2040. But you know,
Steelbook, if that's even around back.
If there is even physical media, then yeah.
I will say, this is the one time that the 3D disappointed me. That was kind of the known thing for these Avatar movies. The first one was amazing,
especially because
the second one even was better.
The first
I didn't care.
My favorite part of the 3D in the first one was any scene where there was fire, and the ashes coming down from said fire, and really didn't get that. Like it literally felt like they were like in the room with you when you saw that in 3D in 2009. But yeah, I mean, it was still good. It still looked good, but it
still looked great.
It's fucking Avatar.
Yep, it's all the movies are pretty much what you'd expect all the movies to be. If you've seen one, you've seen them all. 4 out of 5 for me. I think the whole entire series is kind of like on that same range, 3.5 to 4. And like I mentioned, this is just his passion project for conservationism and pollution and colonization and everything. It's kind of his political / just the way the world is right now, and how everybody and humans are and how they like to destroy, I guess. And it reminds me a lot of Captain Planet, like I kind of joked about. But it does remind me every time I think about these movies, especially as being there's going to be 5 of them, and there's 5 Captain Planet members.
I mean, thing about these movies too is like every movie has like a bunch of James Cameron references to other James Cameron movies. Like in this movie, we saw the legitimate like scene from Aliens where he's showing Sigourney Weaver how to fucking load a gun. Like they showed us that scene like twice in this movie. We got a Titanic scene of them on the bow of the ship about to set sail. But yeah, they're Avatar movies. I mean, they are what they are.
Those the exoskeletons we got from the very first movie from like Alien. So yeah, you're right. It's all repackaged James Cameron. What he knows best.
The last one was a lot of taken from The Abyss. I noticed, and the second one was a lot taken from The Abyss.
And I will say the second one had a lot of really cool underwater stuff that we had never seen before, and this duplicated that. Considering all that stuff's fake and it had to be done in CGI, it looked fantastic. It still does even now. So yeah, great movie. If you love these movies, you'll like this one too. It's definitely, like you mentioned, see it once. You're probably not going to want to sit through another 3 hours and see it again. Once you see it, you see it. I was lost a little bit just because I didn't go back and watch the second one, but it didn't really fucking matter. After everything it didn't really matter. At the end,
if I was
kind of knew what's going on.
Like I was telling people last night, like if I was like 10 or 11 when these were coming out, like, or I saw them all for the first time, I would probably love them because I wouldn't have seen so much James Cameron at that point. They'd probably be like my favorite thing on earth, which I've noticed a lot of the younger kids I talk to absolutely love these movies. Me too. I mean, the story is very basic. It's very easy to follow. It looks absolutely fantastic. These movies are, you know what you're getting when you go into them. They're enjoyable.
The thing about these movies they are popular in America, but they are gangbusters in the world.
Yes.
Globally, these are huge.
Yeah, I think
all of these movies. That's why they make them.
I think the last one only made like, I mean, it's only made, but it's a huge number with like 600 million domestically. And another like 1.9 billion overseas or whatever it was. So
the estimate's 120, I think, this week in the estimate. So go and watch that. It's in the theaters. Was going to watch Wicked after this, but I had to wait an hour and a half between movies. Did not see it, so I will see this eventually, probably when it comes to the home video. Unfortunately,
your most anticipated movie of the year, probably. Besides,
it was. I wanted to watch it for the end of the year, but I didn't get to it. But like I mentioned before, Wicked won. the best parts of the musical are in that movie, and I've known that from when I saw that last year. There's nothing real. I mean, the story is still there. I mean, and the ending of the story, bridging it to the Wizard of Oz that we know. I'm very interested in that. I want to see it. I want to see the new music. Yeah, I love the actors. I love the way the story's told, but I'll get to it eventually. But speaking of year in review, let's talk about the year, this past year, and what we have. Kind of shit. There we go. I found this picture. I thought it was awesome. It's a lot of the movies that we like. Some of them we like. Some of them we never watch. But Nagatomi Plaza right in the background there. But the year in review, movies. The year of Superman. That was the big thing this year. We went through the very infancy of Superman, from how how his origin started in the 30s to the movies with Christopher Reeves, to the television shows, to Smallville. We did a big watch of Smallville and Superboy and Lois and Superman and Lois. I went back and watched that whole entire series this year, all leading up to probably our best superhero movie this year by far, James Gunn's Superman. Well, I think we both agree on that, right?
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, it's just it's everything we hoped it would be. It gave us exactly. It gave us hope for what's to come. Of course, we got Supergirl next year. We'll talk about the year to come, but so much rides on that movie, and I think it delivered for what it needed to do for us as fans, for us as the consumers, to this product and to this universe, and bringing us in there to. The one thing I took from that movie is the open universe and how much exploration I want to see of that universe going forward. And we got Peacemaker. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we got Peacemaker after that opened up a little bit more. But after that, month after, we did the Watchmen watch. We had a whole month of September doing the Watchmen, from the comic book to the animated to the Zack Snyder movie to the series. I watched the whole entire series for the first time. We talked about the creation of the Watchmen, how it was created to the Charlton characters of DC Comics, and how that connected to the Peacemaker show. Nosferatu, watched that at the beginning of the year. Marvel had 3 movies this year. Started off with Captain America: Brave New World, which is okay. Thunderbolts, which is a surprise. I think the surprise hit from Marvel this year.
I love that movie.
Yeah, and Fantastic Four. I think out of all of them, I think you probably love that the most out of all the Marvel movies.
It was it was awesome. I love Thunderbolts.
And the mental health story of that was amazing. And Fantastic Four, which is just a childhood dream for a kid like me who watched that cartoon growing up in the 90s and read some of the comic books. Fantastic Four coming to life in the MCU was great, with Pedro and Joseph Quinn and Ebon Moss-Bachrach and Vanessa Kirby all coming in and playing those 4 characters was outstanding. Companion, saw that at the beginning of the year. Mickey 17 as well. My movie of the year was Sinners. By far, mentioned it before. It was a great experience in the theater. Great story. Michael B. Jordan.
So mad we don't have IMAX near us. I really want to see that in IMAX.
Yeah, me too. We do, but it's just a pain in the ass to travel an hour to it.
Yeah.
But overall, best movie of the year by far.
Right now, that One Battle After Another was also very good, but right now I have Sinners way ahead of everything else. Rewatchability of that movie is so high. And like I got the 4K specifically because they keep the aspect ratios from IMAX. And that disc just looks absolutely amazing. That's the main reason why I wanted the 4K player. Is a lot of Nolan's movies, when they're digital, they don't keep the aspect ratios. So I wanted all that stuff because I'm a nerd. But yeah, I love Sinners.
The ancient folklore in that movie, the Irish folklore, is incredible. If you're Irish, like you and I are, that is incredible to see. Just the Irish folklore, the dance that I think Jack O'Connell is his name, does in that movie is incredible. Yeah, that's a great movie. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, saw that in the theater. Great movie. Happy Gilmore 2 didn't live up to the hype of the first one. Wasn't as good. We always say the reboots sometimes fall flat. This is kind of one of those types, but I do love Happy Gilmore. Weapons, my second favorite movie of the year. I was blown away by that movie.
That's the one I was thinking of too, besides One Battle After Another. Those are top 3, but for me it's like Sinners, a little bit of Room, and then
Yeah.
Weapons, and then OBA. Yeah.
I think
And
you're right on that.
I got a lot to catch up on. We'll probably discuss like before the Oscars, maybe the Oscar preview
Yep.
show, like our top 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, for sure. The Long Walk, another surprise hit for me.
Great
Stephen
movie.
King
In my
story,
top
great
5.
movie.
Yep.
Caught Stealing, I love that movie too.
Surprise movie for me. Yep.
Yeah, surprise. Yep. Frankenstein, a
That
decent
rounds
movie
out my
on
top
Netflix.
5.
Yeah.
I loved
Yep.
Frankenstein. I think I liked it more than you. Yeah, I absolutely
Yeah,
loved
you
it.
did. Roofman, another good movie. One bad after another, like
Yep.
you mentioned, probably one of the better movies of the year. Wake Up Dead Man, just watched that. Great Knives Out movie. Continues that whole saga. Documentaries of the year. I always mention, how the fuck are we going to get great documentaries? This year we got some great ones.
Mm-hmm.
Starting off the year, we did a whole watch of a series called Celtic City on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
All about the history of the Celtics. It was incredible. It got me into watching The Last Dance, which came out like a decade ago about Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
That was incredible. Pee Wee as himself, about Pee Wee Herman selling Superman. We did that during the year of Superman. A great documentary.
Uh-huh.
Watching the Ozzy concert in July.
That was sad.
Him dying and then watching the documentary come out in October was a sad
Mm-hmm.
part of the year. But I did want to mention that the Live Aid 40th anniversary happened. That was a great documentary. Jaw's 50th anniversary documentary came out. That was great. Eminem had a documentary called Stands. Great documentary. Billy Joel documentary, And So It Goes. Great as well. WWE opened up the curtain, had their WWE Unreal. That was fantastic on Netflix. The Charlie Sheen documentary, Mr. Scorsese documentary, both great on Netflix. Drew Struzan, rest in peace, the comic book artist, the movie poster artist, passed away. Great documentary I watched on him. That was from probably a decade ago. But my favorite documentary this year was John Candy, I Like Me. It just hit home to me for what I loved about him and in the movies he made. Being Eddie came out. The American Revolution by Ken Burns. Great documentary, and it's definitely a niche audience. I did want to mention that. And the last one we ended this year on, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, produced by 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Incredible storytelling in that documentary, too. And TV shows this year. Had a huge Dexter watch last year, leading up to Dexter or Original Sin, which got canceled for the second season. But we did get Resurrection, which was incredible. That was the highlight of the year for us. SNL had their 50th anniversary, and it had music specials, a huge 50th anniversary concert, the Downey special, and of course the 50th anniversary special that aired on the 50th anniversary of all the cast coming back and doing sketches. That was great. Dark Side of the Ring had a season this year. Brand new series of Paradise on Hulu. That was great. Sci-fi story. Marvel had some television. It had Spider-Man, the cartoon, which was great. It had Daredevil, Born Again, Daredevil cast coming back, telling a whole season, and the second season coming out in March. And Ironheart, I really was high on that, and I thought it was good too.
And it's being removed from Disney.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Reacher did a whole watch of that and caught up before we watched Reacher this past season. Great show. Severance, another series I binged, got into the new season, fantastic. The Studio, I think this is probably one of my favorite series this year. Just the storytelling, the writing of that show, and Seth Rogen, and the story of Hollywood is just depicted well in that. Fantastic. Winning Time, I watched that during the Celtic City watch.
Yep.
Mobland, another show I love, talked highly about. And The Last of Us season 2. Took a moment from the game that everybody knew was going to happen, a very pivotal moment with Joel. And did a fantastic job telling that story of Joel and how he was massacred. Spoiler, but we saw Andor, the end of Andor, season 2. That was great. Bad Thoughts by Tom Segura, and Tires by Shane Gillis. Both great shows on Netflix. Predator, Killers of Killers. Still haven't seen Badlands yet, but Killers of Killers was fantastic. That was the animated series on Hulu. The whole 28 days, weeks, years later universe, I caught up on all of that. That was good. New season of The Bear, we watched that. Superman and Lois, like I mentioned, watched that. Sandman finale, we had that. Squid Game, Wednesday. Best series before the one I just talked about earlier was Peacemaker. Probably number 2 for me. Alien Earth, good in the beginning, kind of slowed towards the end. Went back, watched Band of Brothers, great series. The Paper, the continuation of The Office, kind of spin off The Office, was good. Gen V, continuation of The Boys. You watched and loved Monster Ed Gein. Want to bring that up?
I'm looking at this list, and I can't believe half this shit came out this year. Like Andor feels like 3 years ago. Last of Us even feels like 3 years ago.
It does. Yeah, all the beginning
Dark
of the year,
Side, like all of this shit. I'm like, this was all in the same year. Like, the hell, man.
Binge watch. Yeah, it's been a very good year. Binge watch Tulsa King. Great show. Welcome to Derry, my favorite show of the year by far. Pluribus, continuing to watch that, but it's great as well. And Death by Lightning, I wanted to mention that too. That was the Michael Shannon movie about James Garfield, the president who gets assassinated. That was great. A TV show, miniseries. This year we talked about the NES 40th anniversary. Justina's farewell tour was a big part of the year, and the Warner Brothers merger is kind of what the whole last part of this year has been focused on. So
can I interrupt you for a sec?
Yeah.
Just fair warning. I don't know if you can hear that, but the wind is howling. So if I lose power, I'll drop out and I'll text you or whatever. But just give you a warning just in case. Yeah,
no problem. So that's the year. When we come back from our vacation, we'll talk about 2026 and what we have to look forward to. There's a lot. A lot of stuff got pushed back last year because of the writer's strike we're getting next year, including the Avengers, including Spider-Man and some other shows and TV and movies. But before we get into news, we have one more thing we want to talk about. We didn't do any Christmas movies this year, but we do want to talk about our Christmas movie Mount Rushmore and what 4 movies are our must-watches for this time of year. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just want to make sure.
If you see this, no, I'll disappear completely if I'm not here. Remember.
Okay.
You see this, I'm still here. I'm just lazy and don't feel like being on camera sometimes.
That's cool. But we did want to talk about our Christmas movie Mount Rushmore. 4 movies that we want to watch every year that we always make a point to watch. As you can see in my background, one of my movies, I know is one of yours as well, is Home Alone, the McAllister house in the background. That movie resonates with me from a childhood. Of course, we watched it when we were kids. Came out in 1990, the original. And I put 1 and 2 together. Escape to New York or Lost in New York.
I just include Home Alone as 1 and 2 together. Yep,
I do. I in fact, when I watch them, I usually watch them back to back.
Same.
For me, number 2, Home Alone would be 1. Number 2 is Elf. I love that movie. I'm not a huge fan. Besides Step Brothers and Elf, I'm not a huge fan of Will Ferrell.
Yep.
But I love Elf so much. It's a great movie. The casting in that is
I'm
fantastic.
a big fan of him in small doses, like when he's in like Wedding Crashers. He's perfect, but I'm not a huge fan of him leading
or
Old School.
Old School, yeah.
But I'm not a fan of his leading movies. Elf I watched for the first time for the podcast, I believe.
Yes, you did.
Our first year or second year. Very good. I never saw it growing up. It's from 2003. But it was like one of the most replayed Christmas movies since then. So it's very good. Go on with your list.
Number 3 for me is Muppets Christmas Carol. I love that movie. It's the only Christmas Carol I like. I love the music in it. I love the story of it. And number 4, which I know is probably your number 1, is Die Hard. And if you say it's not a Christmas movie, you're wrong. Even though it's set in Christmas, there's Christmas music. It is a tradition that Kevin got me into. It's Die Hard on Christmas Eve, and it's there's no complaints or anything about it. It is just definitely number 4 for me.
Yep.
Anything that I didn't mention that you go out of your way? I know a lot of people watch Christmas Vacation, the National Lampoon.
All right, I'll go over my list.
Yeah.
That's actually my number 1 is Christmas Vacation.
It is? Okay.
Yep, that has been my number 1 for a long time. Then number 2 is actually Home Alone.
Okay, yeah.
Number 3 is Die Hard.
Okay.
And number 4, and these are they're better Christmas movies than this last one out there, but these are the 4 I make sure I watch every December. And the 4th one is Batman Returns.
Yep. Yeah, you got to do that too.
It's always been that way for me. So yeah. And do you want me to get into the shows?
No, I have one more more underrated movie.
Gotcha.
The one with Seth Rogen and Michael Shannon, who kind of plays like the ghost of Christmas Past. I can't remember the name of it. What's the name of that Christmas movie now? I can't think of it.
Have I even
It's
seen
Seth
it?
Oh yeah, you have Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Anthony Mackie, and they have this tour of New York City when they're adults, and they get this whole big box of drugs to take, and they're trying to get into this party that's on a rooftop that's run by Michael Shannon. And he's kind of like this ghostly figure in the movie. I wish I knew the name of it off the top of my head, but it's one of my favorite underrated movies. I want to look it up because it's going to bother me if I don't.
Okay.
Seth Rogen Christmas movie. The Night Before. It came out in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
Great movie. I love that movie. Bad Santa, of course. Too Naughty Christmas movie. Yeah, I love those movies too. Those are kind of my honorable mentions. Yeah, go over what you love about TV honorable mentions.
These are ones I grew up watching. The Garfield Christmas special.
Okay, yeah.
Is one of my favorite things of all time. Me and my sister used to quote that all the time. Number 2 is my favorite, one of my favorite Christmas albums also, but Chipmunks Christmas. Loved that.
Oh yeah.
Classic. Then of course 3, Grinch. I mean, come on. And 4 is I've always loved, like, I kind of have like a tie. It's always like Charlie Brown. Love that one. Rudolph and Frosty the Snowman are all kind of in the same ballpark for me.
Yep.
I love all those. And my honorable mention is because I watch it every year to kick off Christmas since it was released, was I watch it on Thanksgiving night, is the Guardians of the Galaxy special.
Yeah, that's on my list as well. Guardians of the Galaxy now. The Grinch is also on my list. For me, television, the whole entire series of The Office, each season I believe had a Christmas episode. Those are all fantastic episodes. Great storytelling. Some of the greatest arcs of that series come out of those Christmas episodes in The Office. Night Court has some great Christmas episodes. There was another series I was thinking of.
The Always Sunny Christmas episode. Come on.
The Always Sunny movie. They had a movie special. It was like 2 hour long Christmas. That was fantastic about Charlie and his mom. And
I think it's technically like just a long episode because there's commercials. So I think it's like just over an hour technically. Yeah, that one's great. The countless South Park. I was about to say
South Park Christmas.
Countless episodes.
Yeah.
Got some good Christmas TV stuff.
Yeah, overall, we definitely ate good during Christmas for our watching throughout the years, and looking forward to seeing new stuff. And I did notice this year wasn't a lot of new movies, not a lot of new Christmas stuff.
And a movie I do want to check out, which I have not seen in years, I always forget about, but I loved it back in the day, was The Santa Claus. He's front and center here in the poster. I have not seen that movie in probably 15, 20 years.
First one is fantastic.
I used to love the first one.
I love that movie. Yeah.
I enjoyed the second one. I never saw the third. There was a third, right? I never saw it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. The second one's okay, but first is great.
We have never talked about Tim Allen on this show ever. And he was so huge in the 90s. What are your thoughts of A Home Improvement back in the day? Did you like that show?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Yes, I did like that show.
I did too. Yeah, a lot of people shit on it now, but I did love that show back in the day, and the
it was like
kids and everybody who were.
It was one of the core shows for me. I know you didn't watch Seinfeld, but it was like Seinfeld for me. Like Queens. It was like one of the core shows that I'd watch.
Another great movie by Tim Allen. Wow, we went in a Tim Allen tangent. Jungle to Jungle.
Yes,
remember that movie?
Yep.
Baboon. I fucking love that movie.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, that's our Christmas for this year. We'll come back next year. We'll talk about New Year. We'll talk about the year going forward in a couple weeks. But until then, let's get into the news.
We're already an hour in, my friend.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, and it's not a new segment of the trailer roundup. Got a brand new trailer for Stranger Things Volume 2, Season 5, Volume 2 comes out on Christmas Day next week. Very excited for that. We'll watch that, talk about it when we come back in the finale as well. We got the first trailer and first posters for Spielberg's next movie called Disclosure Day. Comes out June 12th of 2026. Very sci-fi, space, alien / people being taken over and turning into looks like deer. I don't fucking know. I don't think anybody knows what's going on here, but Emily Blunt and what's his name, Josh O'Connell, who we said we got to remember this kid's name because he was great in the Knives Out sequel and Challengers too.
That was when we
He's the
first
star
saw
of this with Emily Blunt. Yeah. I don't know if you saw this trailer with Hugh Jackman, but it looks great. Called The Sheep Detective. Did you see this trailer?
I didn't see it. I heard about it.
It looks like Paddington meets Knives Out.
Really?
Yeah, it looks crazy. Hugh Jackman stars as a sheep herder, and there's a whole bunch of talking sheep in this. Reminds me of Babe too. And the talking sheep are trying to solve the murder of Hugh Jackman. And it reminds me, it's set in like British / Scottish. I don't really know where they are, but big, huge voice cast: Patrick Stewart, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, whole bunch of other people. Brett Goldstein's in there, Bella Ramsey. So yeah, huge voice cast. But yeah, look good. And Tom Cruise is doing a comedy again. Directed by the guy who did Birdman, and what's the other movie he did? The big movie. I thought blanking me right now. He did After Birdman. I think we liked it too. I don't remember what it was. Look that up for a minute. But yeah, Tom Cruise doing a comedy. He hasn't done a comedy since the 80s. No, he did that one
Tropic
with
Thunder. He did Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, he did Tropic Thunder, but he did that one with not sure. I always want to say Charlize, but it's Cameron Diaz. They filmed it in Boston too. I can't remember the name of it. That came out like a decade ago. But
he did The Revenant.
The Revenant. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, that's a great movie. Young Sherlock, a new series done by Guy Ritchie, a prequel to the movies that he did, the Sherlock Holmes movies starring Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. A prequel series for that coming out on Prime on March 4th. Got a brand new poster, brand new trailer for that. Looked good. And that's it for our trailers. Box office last weekend was kind of a whimper. Zootopia 2, third week, made $26 million. Five Nights at Freddy's. Those movies do great, but the reviews of those are like 2 out of 10. They're horrible for the Five Nights at Freddy movies. Did 19.5 for second place, and Wicked for Good for the fourth week was number 3 with 8.5 million. HBO's It Welcome to Derry is in the platform's top 3 original debuts of all time, behind The Last of Us and House of Dragon, which I mentioned. Had 6.5 million viewers during the finale, averaging 20 million people watching that show globally. During the first weekend of that, it's first week of that show. Incredible. And that's why that show is going to be on their docket for a while. Like you said, season 4 is pretty much a given. And speaking of ratings, PBS has entered Ken Burns' The American Revolution in the top 10 for the very first time in his career. 565 million minutes watched. Well, that documentary is about 565 million minutes if you watch all 10 episodes, but yeah, it's a great documentary if you're into that type of thing. And I know a lot of people bought it because it was on sale on iTunes too. So, yeah, that's great to hear. Rest in peace to Peter Green. If you've seen Pulp Fiction, you know him as the Gimp. He also was in The Bad Guy in the Mask. That's what I knew him for before that. He passed away mysteriously.
Low key. I think my favorite movie with him, I'm pretty sure he was in Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence. Was he the bad guy in that too?
He very well could have.
He screwed up Martin Lawrence, I believe.
In the beginning of the movie, you are right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah.
That was always the movie that I recognized him from, and like, very good character actor. He's excellent in everything.
Amazing.
He's kind of the same character and everything that I've seen him in anyways. He has that voice his voice is very distinct, I feel like. But yeah, very good. It's sad. Young, 60 years old is
60 years old, and they found him in a pool of blood.
Yeah,
it's
tough.
He said he was injured before he died too, so it's something mysterious.
Yeah, it's tough with actors too. Like, I know that like he was found in a pool of blood, but like 60's young, but at the same time, a lot of actors did some shit when they were younger. Yeah, and it catches up to you even if you're not doing it anymore. I don't think that was the case with him, as it sounds like a little suspicious behavior, like Bob Saget occurred. But R.I.P. to him.
And rest in peace to Rob Reiner. This one hit hard for any movie lover of the 80s and 90s. Got his start on All in the Family as Meathead, of course. Everybody talks about that. He was kind of the voice of reason, with Archie Bunker being the racist, sexist person that he was. He was kind of in a world where after the Vietnam War and everybody's peace and love, he was the hippie that was kind of like a love, not war kind of deal. And he was always button heads with Archie Bunker. But
they kind
of got his start.
They kind of reversed that on Family Ties with Michael J. Fox being the young Republican to the father who was a hippie. But you're right. Continue on with your notes.
Got his start on that when he was on that show. He used to watch the camera operators and the behind the scenes of how that show was made, and he decided that he wanted to get into directing. And his very first movie was This Is Spinal Tap, which I'm planning on talking about when we come back. So I'm going to watch the sequel as well.
Oh, nice.
It's on HBO. I think it's somewhere streaming now.
Yeah.
After the Spinal Tap movie, he just went nuts with movies directing, with a lot of classics. Going from Stand By Me, we just talked about that recently on the podcast. Great movie. Princess Bride is his classic. It's probably what everybody's going to remember him from. From the sci-fi, fantasy storytelling that it told. A Few Good Men, never saw that. It's on my list of things to watch with Tom Cruise. Harry Met Sally, known to be one of the best romantic comedies ever made. Misery, just talked about that on the podcast with another Stephen King adaptation that he did. He directed 2 of them, and that was the second one. Misery was outstanding. What's her name? Kathy Bates got her start because of him. Another movie, American President. He's done so much. He just did the sequel to Spinal Tap this year. So died in a way horrible. His son killed him. Mentally unstable kid who had a lot of mental health and drug issues. And heartbreaking that he lost his wife as well.
They said that I believe it came out today that they switched his medication like within the last month.
I saw that.
And he got into a fight. Who did he get into a fight with at the Conan O'Brien? Bill Hader.
Bill Hader.
He'll be living with that, unfortunately, even though it's not his fault for the rest of his life. Just because it's one of those things.
The paparazzi are already following Bill Hader around, which sucks for him.
We love Bill Hader. I'd say we're both Bill Hader fans, I would say.
Yep.
We both like him a lot. So it's going to suck for him. Yeah, this is tragic.
Very tragic. 78 years old.
Yep.
Wife was 68 too. Both of them murdered by their son.
Horrible. This man did the number 2 and number 3 best adaptations of Stephen King's work, in my opinion, with Stand By Me and Misery. Those are still my second and third favorite movies of anything Stephen King.
And his acting, his acting work should not be. I mean, The Wolf of Wall Street. He's incredible as Leo's father.
I always forget he's in that.
Incredible as Leo's father. And I've been seeing clips of it all week, and I forgot. I got to go back and watch that movie.
Exactly
I may do that. I may do that when we come back.
I'm gonna watch this. All right.
Yeah,
I'll do the same.
I'm definitely okay. We'll watch that again. I've
only seen it once. I saw it once. So
the clips I saw of him were outstanding. So rest in peace to Rob Reiner. Incredible actor, credible director, credible person of Hollywood stardom. So we talk about on the podcast all the time going into news, the streaming, and what we started out, and we were in the infancy. We were in the renaissance of streaming, and what the fuck happened when we started back in the day? Disney Plus was $6.99, now $11.99. Hulu was $8, now $11.99. Netflix, the best Netflix with HD and everything, $7.99 without ads. Now it's $17.99. Paramount Plus $8.99 up to $14.99. HBO Max up to $18.49. You get the picture here. Apple TV was $4.99, now $12.99. Everything's gone up so much. And I just I saw this picture on there. I wanted to share it with everybody, but it's just a crazy, crazy time of how we were living in royalty back in 2020, 2019, and now we're fucked with our wallets are fucked more than we are. But content is there, great content, but we're paying for it. And Warner Brothers back on their shit again. Let's talk about it. Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, backs out of the Paramount Warner Brothers bid. He had his money in the pocket of Paramount, backed out, and because of that, Warner Brothers rejected their buyout, their hostile takeover. saying that they're going to go with their existing agreement with Netflix, and they consider it greater value, and certainty, and the terms of it are so much better, and the hostility of everything connected to the Trump administration, I think, was the big thing that turned them off. And also another bid that came in last month or last year that we didn't hear about, Starz offered $25 billion just for the cable networks alone, and 20% of the studio too, but they were denied that. It's like, yeah, that's not enough. Zazoff's like, no, that's not enough. Speaking of Zazoff, here's a picture of him giving a tour to the co-CEOs of Netflix, Greg Peters and Ted Sarandos, a couple days ago on the back lot of the Warner Brothers studios. So already looking at their assets that they purchased. So, yeah. Speaking of Hollywood, speaking of crazy shit, the Oscars, starting in 2029, are coming to YouTube. I mention it every once in a while that streaming is kind of, cable's dead. Streaming is the future, and this is just the natural progression of how this is going to go.
Honestly, it's the best thing they could do because they've been on ABC forever, right? And they're like the one thing that doesn't like stream. Like you couldn't like find it. I think if in 2029 they're also going to start catering to different audiences, I feel like, to get people to tune in. But if it's just free on YouTube, I think more people will be likely to tune in. Because there's been many times I want to watch the Oscars and I'm traveling because that's usually when I go to Florida. And I have to find like an illegal stream of it somewhere, or like sign up for YouTube TV for the night or something. So,
you know what's going to be great when this airs on YouTube are the comments on the right side when you're watching on your television, because you can turn the comments on and watch the commentary of people commenting on the YouTube stream.
Yep.
How are they going to control that?
They'll just turn it off.
Yeah, maybe they can. Yeah, maybe they can.
You can turn it off.
You can. Okay. Yeah,
you can turn off
be
comments.
interesting. Yeah. They shouldn't, because that would be great. In a record deal, Sony has acquired partial control of the Peanuts, the cartoon The Peanuts, for $457 million. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of the Peanuts. Never have been. That's why I didn't mention it during Christmas movies.
Yeah, it's the only thing I like from them because I grew up on it.
I know, and I'm not a huge fan, but yeah, huge amount of money, and I believe they're owned by the people who own Knott's Berry Farm in California, which is a theme park. So yeah, Kit Harington talking about Game of Thrones and saying that he is not going to ever reprise Jon Snow again. No, God no. I don't want to go anywhere near it. I spent 10 years doing that. Thanks, I'm all right. Wasn't there supposed to be a Jon Snow spin-off series?
I don't know if maybe that's why he decided, because it didn't get pushed forward. So he's just like, I'm done. I don't care about it anymore. Or maybe that was just a rumor that they wanted to do it, but maybe he wasn't on board yet. I don't know.
Right, yeah. Got the very new look at the fall and rise of Reggie Dinkins. This is from the creators of 30 Rock. It's a new series starring Tracy Morgan and Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter himself. Follows an NFL superstar banned from the league who decides to hire a filmmaker to make a documentary about his life to win back the respect of the public. It's the very first look of it. Going to be on NBC, I guess, or Peacock, or one of those. Joining the cast of Tomb Raider, Jason Isaac. Jason Isaac played Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter. He was in The Patriot, the bad guy in The Patriot. It's been a lot of stuff, but Jason Isaac, great actor, joining Tomb Raider. Who is Laura Croft is being played by what's her name, Sasha Stark, or what her name from Game of Thrones.
Sansa.
Sansa, yeah. I can't remember
her name. Yeah, she married a Jonas brother. Sophie Turner.
Jonas Brothers.
Sophie
Turner. Yep, that's it. Point Break being adapted into a TV series by AMC Networks. Oh, not yet. By AMC Networks. Series is going to be set in 2026, 35 years after the events of the original film. So it's not a reboot. It's a continuation. If it's greenlit, the TV show will follow a dangerous heist group with ties to the ex-president's gang from the original movie. And when this came out, James Cameron is doing interviews for Avatar, and he mentioned that he actually wrote the original Point Break. And he got stiffed by the Writers Guild on that and he didn't get paid for it. He was uncredited for it. He's been talking about that and how it was bullshit. So, yeah. And he's also talking about having other stories to tell. And like you mentioned, when we talked about Avatar, He's not necessarily going to go back, but he may bring other people in to work on it. So he's been talking a lot about that this week.
I think to make it a full circle moment, he should end his career by doing the DCU Aquaman movie starring Adrian Green. Am I right?
You know that guy's not acting or anything anymore. He like lives on a farm. He doesn't want anything to do with Hollywood.
Yeah, he basically did the movie and was like, "I'm done."
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
He
didn't want to do the podcast.
I feel like he could have had a much bigger career if he just went with the whole heartthrob thing. But he got cut off in Entourage pretty young, and he probably
he did. Yeah.
He just came across as a guy that just didn't care after that. Probably made so much money from that.
We had a lot of leaks this week. I think we talked about it last week. The leak for the Odyssey trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Currently playing in IMAX. Came out today or came out last week. I think it's playing before Avatar. First 6 minutes or 6 minutes of the Odyssey about the invasion of Troy. But we did get the first poster of it. Got some brand new pictures of the Odyssey as well. Came out of Entertainment Weekly. Got Robert Pattinson there, and we got Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland, and it just looks like it's going to be an epic movie of historical proportions. So, brand new poster for a trailer I saw last month, starring Sam Rockwell, called "Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die." Time travel movie. Film follows a man who takes patrons of an LA diner hostage, saying that he's from the future and must save them all from AI. The trailer looked good. There's going to be a new trailer coming out next month. The movie comes out in February, so I'm going to keep an eye on that, and we'll talk about it. Speaking of movies, on December 23rd, which is on Tuesday, as we record, 2 days before Christmas, the Bruce Springsteen movie comes out on digital, starring what's his name from The Bear, Jeremy Taylor, whatever his name is, blanking me right now.
Jeremy Allen White.
Alan White, yeah,
that's what it is.
Too many three-name people.
Yes.
I'm thinking Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Yes.
So yeah, it comes out on Tuesday. Beauty and the Beast having a live-action spin-off called Gaston. Not sure if we're in that movie already. So yeah, Daisy Ridley coming out of Star Wars right before she does the next Star Wars movie, maybe being part of that cast as well. Lakeith, I want to hear your opinion on this casting and what he's going to look like. But Lakeith Stanfield is going to star as Dennis Rodman in 48 Hours in Vegas. We talked about this during our Jordan watch earlier in the year. He's going to be Jonathan Majors is going to be in this role. He dropped out. He's going to follow Rodman's wild Vegas trip in the middle of the 1998 NBA Finals. Wasn't that also the finals that he went on the NWO tour too? Or am I thinking of another time he did that when he left the game and joined the NWO for a pay-per-view? That may be another.
That might have been 97.
Okay. But Phil Moore.
98 was when he goes to Vegas and marries Carmen Electra, I believe.
Yes. Okay.
I think 97 was the. Because
that's a documentary.
Wait. Hold on. 98, they beat the Jazz, so it might have been 99 the next year when he was retired.
Okay.
I think that's what it was, because Malone was retired at the time, I believe, and it was the year before that.
Well, they talked about it on Winning Time, or not on Winning Time, the documentary. I think it may have been 96 or 97. But Phil Lord and Chris Miller are going to produce it. Lakeith Stanfield playing Dennis Rodman. I kind of see it. I thought Lakeith was short, but maybe they can make him look tall. I don't know.
Yeah, but, that's the only thing. I love the casting. Lakeith's going to knock out of the park. I love him more than Jonathan Majors. He probably dropped out because the subject matter is not going to be a good look coming off of, unless he was kicked off the project. But that's what he was dealing with. But I think Lakeith is going to absolutely knock it out of the park.
Yeah, me too. Marty Supreme, hearing a lot about this movie, getting a lot of buzz. There's a popcorn bucket coming out of a giant ping pong ball. These popcorn buckets are ridiculous, but let's get into some swag.
Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
The last time is now. John Cena final match Funko Pop announced last weekend. Also, RoboCop 1 and 2, or actually RoboCop 2 Funko Pop figures announced. Look pretty cool. and NECA, I don't know how to say it, but they are a popular action figure brand.
There's
coming
so
out
many companies doing this now, like really good, high quality
McFarlane and this
figures. And I mean, like obviously you got the Hot Toys and all that stuff. Like
Hot Toys, yeah. But this figure, I mentioned it last week when I saw this episode of him coming out of the bloodbath. That's going to make an awesome action figure, and it does look awesome. Pennywise, drenched in blood from the nose down, with his face that came out of the bloodbath, and looks awesome. And let's get into the DC news of the week. We mentioned, I don't know if we mentioned it off pod, that Batista was rumored to be Brainiac. I think we mentioned it last week.
Yeah.
And James Gunn has since debunked that. There's no truth to that rumor. He hasn't even really gone out and officially said that Brainiac's part of the movie. Just the media's taking that opinion, even though he's kind of hinted to it. But yeah, he's seen some of the roles that are rumored for the roles and have auditioned. He's not really saying anything about it, though. James Gunn's keeping quiet for once, so that's good. We did mention last week that Brad Pitt was rumored to be starring in the Batman 2. Also been debunked since then. The rumored role that he turned down, or that he was going to be a part of, was going to be Harvey Dent, I believe, right?
Or his father.
Or his father. His father, that's what it was. And Scarlett Johansson's character, who is in talks to be part of the cast of the Batman 2, is rumored to be playing Gilda Gold, who is the wife of Harvey Dent in the comics. So, you mentioned off pod, I think maybe last week too, that interested if they do a Harvey Dent intro in this movie, and somewhere in the third movie he becomes Two-Face.
Yeah.
Doing a tragic story of that, which hasn't really been told in the movies. Right. But it'd be exciting. Marvel news of the week. Some brand new pictures from Entertainment Weekly preview of Daredevil season 2. We got Matthew Lillard joining the table with the Kingpin. We've got Karen Page and Daredevil sitting on the roof all moody. We see the first look of Jessica Jones talking to Daredevil, and the lady from The Conjuring and The Haunting. She's very moody, gothic actor from the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, talking to the Fisks in the top right corner there. So very excited for that. Comes out in March. And finally in news, last news article of the week, last news article of the year, Avengers Doomsday, the one thing we didn't talk about. During Avatar, the trailer debuted, exclusive to theaters. However, it leaked earlier Monday. Very grainy footage, and then news of that trailer came and spread all over the internet. And an HD version has been created through AI, or 4K version through AI. And Marvel was working hard and diligently with lawyers to take all of those down from the internet this week. We did see the trailer. It came in front of Avatar right before the movie started, and it was a confirmation that Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, is going to be part of Avengers Doomsday. It looks to me like they're continuing the story from where Endgame left off. Steve is trying to put the stuff back, that all the stones and the hammer and all that stuff at the end of Endgame, and he's started his family. In the trailer, we see him holding a child who we presume would be him and Peggy's child. And it was a very quick minute glimpse of what we can look forward to, and of course at the end saying Steve Rogers will return in Doomsday, Avengers Doomsday, and the clock time starting a timer for 12 months from now. So, and the rumors after that, and have kind of been confirmed that there's going to be 4 different separate trailers for this movie coming out in the next 4 weeks, I believe. Second trailer we've already heard. It's the Thor central trailer, kind of like that, with Thor. I believe he's praying to Odin. And the third trailer is all going to be about Doctor Doom, and the fourth trailer is going to be focusing like a teaser trailer of the entire movie. And they're all going to be played before Avatar. I guess to keep people in the theater to keep coming weekly to see that movie. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know why you would do it in front of Avatar versus something else that maybe you want more people to see. Right. But I think the reason is the IMAX screens. That's got to be the reason.
Sense. Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, they all this information is leaked out. The Thor one I believe comes out next week. It's already leaked. It's already on the internet. You can hear all about it. The Doctor Doom one, I don't know how they're going to keep that tight lip, but they should, because that should be something that either the release strategy on this is stupid. They're keeping it tight lipped. They're keeping it away from the internet, but
I would have kept Doom out of everything. Like, I wouldn't even show him till the goddamn movie.
Yeah, right. You're
him,
dead on.
Like, don't show him.
Don't show his face or anything.
Yeah. I mean, the rumor too is, did you see that they're re-releasing Endgame with a new post-credit scene that's going to lead into Doomsday? I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but
they are releasing it in September. So that makes sense if that is what's going to happen. But and finally, the other leak of this is the brand new Day trailer leaked as well, and this was grainy, and this has not been fully out yet. And we were talking about this probably was going to come out by the end of the year. But this leaked showing pretty much Peter Parker telling the audience, "Hey, you don't remember me, but I'm Spider-Man. I'm Peter Parker," and he's talking about how the world kind of forgot who he was. And you kind of get a glimpse of Sadie Sink's character from Stranger Things. And she talks about, "You're a mess, Spider-Man. Don't get in my way, otherwise you won't. It won't just be your friends who don't remember who Peter Parker is." In other words, she knows that there was something going on here. So she's probably from the multiverse, or knows him. That the thing that Doctor Strange did not take effect on her. So who knows when we're going to get this trailer and when we're going to get any more information on her character. Hopefully not till the movie. I hope not. But that's it for our show. That's it for the year. Next episode on January 2nd, when we come back the day after, we're going to have a show and tell. We'll talk about the Pluribus finale. We'll talk about Stranger Things series, the series finale. There'll be a couple episodes of Fallout before then. We'll talk about that. Nevermore, The Raven Effect. If we ever get to it, it'll be in the new year, hopefully. I really do want to see it. It's on Prime, but I don't want to pay $12.99 for it, especially on Prime.
If it was on iTunes, I'd pay for it in 2 seconds. I already have it.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
It's just, why would I buy one single thing on Prime? Like, it doesn't make sense to just randomly start a collection with one movie that every other movie is going to be available on iTunes. So, hopefully soon.
But the big focus, besides I want to do a Rob Reiner watch. I'm gonna watch This Is Spinal Tap, and definitely Wolf of Wall Street. Maybe some other ones I'll throw in there. But the big thing next episode is going to be a 2026 preview. We're going to talk about the year upcoming, Marvel, DC, everything, Supergirl, Avengers, Doomsday, Spider-Man. We'll talk about all of that and every other movie in between. Coming in January, we got a brand new zombie movie coming out on the 2nd called We Bury the Dead. Daisy Ridley and zombies. On Netflix, we got a horror movie called Primates, about a killer primate animal who has rabies and starts attacking people. Bradley Cooper has a brand new directorial movie coming out called Is This Thing On? About stand-up comedy. It comes out on the 9th. 28 years later, The Bone Temple comes out on the 16th. Everybody raving about that. On Netflix, a movie called The Rip, starring Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, set in Miami. They're police officers. Some shady drug shit goes down in the trailers. Looks good. Dead Man's Wire. This is Bill Skarsgård, plays a robbery reminiscent of those 70s, 80s robbery movies back in the day. On the 18th, Night of the Seventh Kingdoms. Cannot wait for that. WWE Unreal has a brand new season on the 20th on Netflix. Mercy, a movie starring Chris Pratt, where it's a sci-fi AI thriller where he's found to be accused for murder, and he has to go in an AI court and prove himself wrong. Wonder Man, all 8 episodes debut on the 27th, and on the 28th, Shrinking Season 3 premieres, and we're both excited for that. Probably the most exciting show of January. So thank you, everybody, for another year. We will talk to everybody in the new year. Until then, happy holidays, happy new year, and peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you, talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you want to be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blur, we're the kings of the nerds. Rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blur, we're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geekdom, it's our domain.